Hi, thanks for taking a minute or two out of your day to join me. I really appreciate this opportunity to share some deeply meaningful ideas that I see as I contemplate the current state of the healing arts field, the field of therapy, the field of coaching. I've had a chance to be passionate and deeply involved in this field for over 40 years now, and I see some limitations, some struggles, and I really want to support the practitioners who are beginning to evolve and to see greater depth and possibilities than the current approach would have us believe. So I suspect that we share an understanding that to really facilitate profoundly significant and sustainable changes in our clients, that we really do need a holistic approach, that the gold standard, as it were, today of cognitive behavioral therapy is limited. It certainly has value. It's not something we want to eliminate from our repertoire, but that we really need to go beyond that. We need to evolve into an understanding of what it truly means to be a human being and how past experiences, generational trauma, cultural trauma, so on and so on, have really impacted on our capacity to be the depth of who we truly are as human beings and to harness the possibilities that are available to me. So that significant transformation is going to require us to have techniques and strategies to be able to hold ourselves and to hold our clients in a deeper container than just talk therapy. I'd like to encourage you, invite you then to consider deepening the results that you are offering your client by bringing in some direct energy work into your therapeutic and coaching approach. If we haven't met yet, I'm Nancy Forster. I am the founder of the National EFT Training Institute, EFT, Emotional Freedom Techniques Tapping, and the founder of Conscious EFT, which is NEFT's approach to an integrative, holistic way of facilitating sustainable and significant transformation for our clients. As I say, I've been in the field for 40 years, first 35 years identifying as a psychotherapist, and then more recently releasing that title and adopting an identity as a trainer, a mentor, a coach. And what I do now is work with practitioners like you to help you bring this energy work into the way you practice with a real sense of integrity and holism. I'm not sure if holism is a word. I think I just made it up, but I like it. Holism, where you are literally holding all of yourself and all of your client in a container, first to establish safety and stability in the nervous system, and then to support and encourage this natural impulse to growth that evolves as there is enough safety in the system. And I think the current approaches, which are based on more of a Western, almost a masculine, energetic approach to the work, where we're working with problems and it's kind of a fix it. There's a issue and therapist coaches are trying to fix the issue. And where we're coming from at NEFTY is more of a, well, then how do we also bring in this gentler, kinder, more compassionate energy work to hold the both and, right? The Western approach and these more Eastern ancient wisdom approach at the same time. And one of the benefits that allows us then is to really work holistically with the whole essence of the mind, body, spirit of a client. I think of a metaphor around baking a cake, and you have the flour and you have the butter and you have the water and you have all of the other ingredients. And that's like the cognitions, the thoughts, the emotions, the sensations, the behavioral, the imageries, all of these are separate aspects of being a human being, but they will stay as separate ingredients until we get an oven, a source of power, a source of energy, something which will allow all of those different aspects to come together and to create something which is synergistically beyond the separateness of the aspects. And that's how I see working directly with energy. That's what I see emotional freedom techniques and tapping. As we learn how to integrate that into our work with clients, it really allows us to help that client bake the cake of the wholeness of their life. And that is so incredibly satisfying to a practitioner. It's also incredibly healthy for a practitioner to be holding a safe container, an oven which is so energetically supportive to them in the client session at the same time as they are facilitating change with clients. We are human beings before we're practitioners, and so our nervous systems are also being exposed to those lower frequencies of problems that we're attempting to help the client to grow beyond. The second benefit of this holistic, energy-based approach to the work is that it truly allows us to come from a desire to empower our clients rather than to fix them. And empowerment comes from a place, again, beyond talking about empowerment. Empowerment is a whole body, a whole system, a whole mind, body, spirit experience of beingness in the world. And practitioners who are truly invested in empowering their clients come from a deep knowing that the wisdom lies within the client. The wisdom doesn't lie in me as a practitioner, despite 40 years of ongoing continuous learning in all kinds of modalities and approaches and whatnot. But all of that has brought me to this real deep knowing that the client has the answers, that the wisdom is in the client. And emotional freedom techniques allows us then to unleash or unlock that energetic wisdom that lies underneath the emotional suffering, that lies underneath the limited cognitive belief system that really is sitting there waiting to direct that particular client on their own unique path to wholeness, right? There's a real shift here when we're working energetically from this place of, oh my gosh, there's a problem here, we need to fix this problem, really, firmly in this land of the negativity bias, to looking at therapy and coaching as a growth experience, right? That there's nothing broken about that client, that they have inside of them everything that they need to assist them to the next step and the next step on their path to wholeness. And finally, another benefit that working energetically and bringing emotional freedom techniques into my practice with clients, but also with myself, is that it has really fueled a growth mindset, really an understanding of how important it is for a practitioner to be continuing to grow, but not just cognitive. I mean, yes, we are inundated with all of these offers to learn more, study more, right? Webinars and master classes and PowerPoints and all of that. And it's all good. It's all wonderful. I certainly have enjoyed so much of that myself. But a growth mindset is so much bigger than that. It's growth as a human being. And our cognitive abilities is only quite a small part of being a human being. It expands way beyond that into our emotional selves, our sensation in our body selves, our imaginations, our behaviors. It's all of this wholeness that those of us in the healing arts are really wanting to support in ourselves and in our clients. I learned quite a few years ago, as I was studying some of the constraints around the effectiveness of therapy and coaching, that the number one thing which is actually predictive of client success, and before I learned this, I would have thought it's the number of trainings and certifications on one's resume, but it's not that at all. The one and only research-based thing that is associated with client success is the extent to which the practitioner is on their cutting edge, the extent to which the practitioner is continuing to grow and evolve as a practitioner. And that's such an exciting thing that working energetically allows us to bring into our work with ourselves, and therefore to really offer a really enhanced effectiveness to our particular client. And working energetically also importantly allows us to work uniquely with each particular client, because it doesn't become about the modality, it doesn't become about the technique, it becomes about the person who's in front of us at the moment and what's going on right in that moment with their particular nervous system. What is that nervous system really asking us for, in order that it can find safety, in order that it can then follow its innate desire for growth? One of the examples, metaphors that I use in our foundational training, Discover the Power of Conscious EFT, is this idea of seeing a father and his child, child about 2 years old, in the park one day. And the father was helping the child swing. So the child's on the swing and the dad is pushing, the child goes up and comes back and the dad pushes again, and so on and so on. And what struck me is that that's very much what it's like to bring conscious EFT into our practice, because we have to determine who that child is in that particular moment. Is the child wanting to go higher, or would actually pushing that child be perceived as a threat to that particular nervous system? And so the father is processing so much of that as he is simply being with that child and assessing what is the need of that child. Do they need a bigger push because they're ready for that growth, that excitement, that movement into the world? Or are they wanting the safety and the stability of just being there, just being held as they oscillate on that swing in a way which is comfortable to them? And that's what we're doing as practitioners as well. We're always assessing, where is that client's nervous system right now? What is its capacity for growth? And it's one of the limitations, I think, of working only cognitively, is we don't really have that possibility to titrate, to determine how much of a little push does that nervous system need right now? How much would be too much? And then if we happen to, assess wrongly for that particular moment, then how do we actually help that nervous system back into a safe and comfortable oscillation of their nervous system? And that's what we're doing at NEFTY. We are inviting practitioners, like-minded practitioners who can feel the truth of these ideas and really want to operate in their work with clients from this place of deep knowing, right? To be able to move beyond the limitations of the current cognitive standard approach to things, and really move into this place of growth and development as a practitioner, and bringing the energy work in so that you can work from the fullness of your humanity, your whole mind, body, spirit approach, and you build the capacity to work with the entirety of the human being who's in front of you, too, really unlocking your potential to facilitate such satisfying healing and growth from the clients and the people that you serve. I'm thinking of a beautiful quote from Rumi as I bring this video to an end. And Rumi said, "I used to be clever, and so I tried to change the world. Now I'm wise, and so I change myself." And as we change ourselves, of course, we do change the world. So I invite you to consider this powerful approach of working energetically and holistically in a way which truly empowers your clients to move along their own path to wholeness. And also invite you to join me in the next video in this series, where I really tackle the number one objection to bringing energy work into our work as practitioners. So I'm looking forward to sharing my thoughts about that misconception with you. Take care now. Best wishes.